Hello friends, welcome to Be Your Best Versions YouTube channel. As part of this initiative, I host a live talk show with entrepreneurs and business coaches to share their knowledge and expertise with my audience. Thank you very much for watching this video. And if you haven't subscribed to Be Your Best Versions YouTube channel, please do that right now to receive amazing content on personal growth and professional success. Also, be part of the network of awesome people who want to achieve more by joining my Facebook group Be Your Best Version. Link for the same is given in the comment section below.
So Dilip has more than 20 years of experience, and then he was involved in more than 500 automation projects across retail, supply chain business, etc. And he was also the director of C-Square Info Solutions, which apparently has good innovative solutions, and that's the reason Reliance Jio has acquired for some millions. He never told how many millions he has sold that. With that, he has started his new venture, that is Leap Search, where he is secretly working on some path-breaking innovative solutions, which he hasn't divulged on any platform. Let's see if he can share some of those details with us today. And grand welcome to you, Dilip. And while the session is going on, the audience can post questions on the related topic. So he would be explaining us how to increase our online presence, how to market ourselves digitally, and how to have more customer base with the available systems and tools that are available online. So you can post your questions on any of these subjects while the session is going on. And then he mentioned instead of taking the questions at the last, so there will be after 20 minutes there will be a 5 to 10 minute break where you can ask some questions, and then after addressing those questions we can move to the next part. So it is up to you how to best utilize this session. And Pooja, you want to add anything else here?
Yes. I would like to add all the participants. I'm very glad that after even so many people registering, we have only 26 who are sitting in right in front of us. But these 26 people are lucky, and the next 10-15 minutes we'll have more people coming in. So this today's session is going to be on digital marketing, on overall on all the aspects of digital marketing, because we only know that okay, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, these social media websites are the only place that we can put our content out and we can market ourselves for our business. But the reality is that there are many more tools apart from that in the digital world, which no one is aware of, and which is the reason you people are very privileged that you are going to be learning about that by the most expert today, Dilip sir. And he is going to tell you all about various tools that you can use. And for every industry, every field, whether you are an advocate, whether you are an architect, whether you are an interior designer, whether you are a IT person, whether you are into any kind of business, any kind of field, how you can utilize this platform and how you can market yourself as well as get in a lot of leads and business from the digital world, is what we are going to target out. So I have a warm welcome to all of you. So funny.
Yeah, Dilip sir, floor is all yours.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pooja and Funny, and all the wonderful people present here. I'm sure next 45 minutes will be a very good investment of your time on this weekend, which actually should have started by 6 o'clock now. And without wasting any time, we'll just directly jump on to the session today. Feel free.
So just one request, can you be little more louder? Just little more louder.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, this is okay. Perfect.
Sure. So do you want me to have the mixture of Hindi and English, or English?
Yes, please, sir. Hindi and English. We have all Hindi English audience.
Perfect. So feel free, if you have any questions, you could just put forward in the chat box, and Pooja will assist me asking.
Yes.
Then and there itself, whenever we have a break, so that the continuity of learning does not stop.
Yes.
So welcome. Thank you so much once again, and welcome to the digital world. But before I start, let me just show you a small video, and I would request all of you to just pay some attention on this video. 1 minute, hold on. I have to just make sure the sound comes. 1 minute, huh? We don't miss on. Okay, perfect. Sure. So a small video before we start. Friends, if you see the amount of information which is getting created in a minute will take multiple lives of years to consume. I mean, if you talk about 60 seconds in by the moment we watch this video, so many things have happened in various channels, talking from Snapchat to Netflix to Google to Facebook, YouTube, the apps being downloaded, Instagram people are using, the Reddit, the Twitter, and all the various platforms what we talk about today. Everywhere, tons and tons of data is getting uploaded. People are chatting, people are sharing information, people are uploading their videos and movies, people are watching movies through Netflix and YouTube and all. So if you see, in 60 seconds, a lot of things are happening all around. And thanks to, especially in India, thanks to Jio and all the mobile companies, which has actually democratized, in true sense, the usage of data to the last mile. Today, you talk about anybody, even he could be a farmer or he could be somebody staying in a remote village, but still he has access to quality internet, and they are able to actually do a lot of things on internet. So friends, this is what is happening in 60 seconds. But as we start, I welcome you to this digital world and what does it has for all of us. But before we jump onto that, I have something very important to share with you. This concept called filter bubble. So this is a concept which was introduced some time back, and what it says is like when you come to internet or this online world, you are actually a unknown person, and as you enter here, and the activities what you do will define your profile. So just to explain the simple term, suppose if you are a human being and when you are born on this planet, you don't have any name, nobody knows you, but still you are born, and then you get attached with all the properties and all the features. You could say like, okay, this is your name, then you start studying, you meet people, you interact, and you earn your degree and all. And as we move forward, actually a lot of information gets attached to us, and that is what makes us what we are. So today, if Dilip is Dilip, it is because of the attributes which he has what we call got over the time. So same thing happens in the digital world. Just imagine for a minute, like you are never connected to internet, and immediately you just buy a smartphone, or you start creating your first email account, or maybe you sign in for some service. And in simple terms, internet does not know who you are. So this is how you will be in this whole universe. You are one more person who has just entered. But then what happens, interestingly, is we start using or consuming all the different content which is available on internet, starting from, it would be like you have just bought a new phone, and you start installing WhatsApp or Facebook, or start watching some videos, do shopping online, upload your photographs on various social media sites, and all the activities, whatever we do. So every activity we do or every information we share on the internet actually creates something called as a digital footprint. I mean, like whatever we do, it stays there. It is actually, I can use the word, it is tracked also, but in stricter sense, it's basically that information is available to people, whatever we do to the internet. And what happens is something phenomenal. Just to give a simple understanding, there are more than 57 types of signals all these internet companies are tracking. If you have a mobile phone in your hand, which Wi-Fi you are connected with, which is the network you are into, whom did you speak last, when did you start your phone, which are all the applications you have used, or any activity, whatever you think of, whatever we do is actually in a way tracked. I would use the word tracked itself, so that these companies know exactly when I woke up, when I slept, what was the last time I had called somebody, and how much time did I speak in a day, all the different activities, including like where did I travel, my GPS tracking is there, so I can actually have the location awareness and all. So all this information gets collated, all our interests, all our activities gets tracked. And what does happen is, if you have to broadly divide them, every activity which we do, like searching, watching videos, or doing activities on the internet in terms of browsing the websites, locations, wherever we go, or the things which we create, like my email, my photos which I upload, or documents which I create, what I share, and things that make you you. When I say things that makes you you, is your Facebook profile, your YouTube profile, or Twitter profile, or any other identity which you have created. It could be your WhatsApp number, Truecaller number, your Telegram name, LinkedIn profile. So all this information which is there coming from multiple sources actually gets collated together. And what happens with that is the you which has come as an individual gets translated into something like your own universe. So whatever activity we're doing in, our profile is getting more and more enriched with our interest, with our likings, with the things which we might like, and a separate universe for us gets created. So when I say this, let us try to understand in simple terms. Suppose if you like yoga, then wherever you go on internet, you will see more and more posts which are related to yoga. Or suppose if you are searching for a flight ticket from say Pune to Delhi in one site, or you started searching something about Delhi in some other site, automatically you'll start seeing the advertisements which are related with flight ticket from Pune to Delhi, because they know, okay, you're from Pune and you might be interested in traveling to Delhi. So all these things is happening in the real time. How is it possible? Because of all the history which is accumulated, all the preferences what we have, and what will be the probability of the information which might be of interest to you. So in simpler terms, if I were to tell, the internet is actually personalized for every person. Forget about your static websites and all, but when you talk about any of the social media site, any of the online shopping sites, or even for example Google, which has only one line to search something, but when you type any keyword, the search is personalized to you. If two people in this room type the same word, they will not see all the results same. There might be some results which might be repeating, but if you see, the whole page will be different, because the advertisements, the inclination towards a particular topic or particular interest might be different. Just to give an example, if you're more interested in they classically call the example of Kingfisher. Now, if you type Kingfisher, different people will see different results for Kingfisher. It could be a bird, it could be a beer, it could be a calendar, or it could be airlines, or anything as such. But it might not be same. So it all gets defined not by what is there on internet, but what you are. So based upon your profile, your liking, the content gets shown. So why am I talking about that is what I will try to correct as we move forward. So this is something very important for us to understand before we venture into in this digital world, and how we can take the benefit of this concept is what we'll be focusing on as we move forward. So I thought it might be important for us to just have the basics. So in simple term, there is a universe, अपना एक खुद का एक जहान बना हुआ है internet पे, जहाँ पे आपके लाइकिंग के हिसाब से, आपके इंटरेस्ट के हिसाब से आपका पूरा प्रोफाइल बनता है, एंड आप वही देखते हैं जो कि आपको इंटरेस्टिंग रहेगा. सपोज आपके 500 फ्रेंड होंगे फेसबुक पे, यू मे हैव 500 फ्रेंड्स ऑन फेसबुक, but you will not see the post from all the 500 friends. If you have liked something, or if you have been watching a specific post from a specific person, that person's what do you call posts will be more often shown to you, and there might be many posts which you will never see, even though they are part of your friend list. So this is the base on which we'll build. So the first section, what we'll try to address today is, okay, I know about this concept. How do I leverage it? I might be a businessman, I might be a trainer, I might be architect, engineer, or a dancer, or musician, anything as such. Is how do I leverage myself on this digital platform is what we'll try to discuss. And there are various platforms available. Like you have hundreds of social media platforms today available for different activities. Now, what people do there is they share, they like, they actually do friendship, they go for music, watch the news, and networking, and lot other things they do. Now, whatever we have been doing in the physical world, if you go 20 years back, almost everything is being done on social media today, including the physical expression of our feelings also through your emojis and all. If you see today, virtually everything people are able to do it. And when we talk on a stricter sense, I'm not talking about the personal social media interactions what we have, but when it comes to my profession or business, how can I leverage social media for my business is what we'll try to discuss. And the first question which comes is, which is the right social media platform which I should use so that I'm able to leverage the more benefit out of that. And there are various platforms available, but the first thing which all of us should actually keep in mind is having our own website. When I say website is your own personal hosted website where you can communicate to the world whatever you want to communicate, because website defines a strong branding of yours. And this is the best way of I could say marketing yourself, building your online presence, having a credibility, because people who do not know you trust more the businesses which have their own website. So today, if you talk about creating a website, it's more of a very simple affair. You don't have to spend anything or hire a very what we say high-rated professional. On your own, you can build websites through various free tools available. There are platforms like Google Site Builder. Then you have Google My Business. You have Zoho sites, and many other platforms are there. Where in few thousand rupees you can build a very interactive website. I would recommend particularly Zoho sites. If you have not checked it, it's better if you can build online within a couple of hours, or I would say a couple of days, the complete website as per your requirement. The website is done, then which are all the platforms which we should use to market ourselves. So this is predominantly defined by who are your target audience, whom do you want to connect with. It could be your customers, it could be your fans, it could be your followers, it could be the people who actually believe in your cause, which you want people to follow you. So whatever cause or purpose you may have, the important point for choosing the right social media platform lies in where your target audience are, and that will define which social media platform you have to use. So, for example, if you have teenagers as your target audience for a specific business you are into, or say like any particular product you're selling in, then more and more teenagers might be there on Instagram, Chat, or maybe Facebook and all. If your target audience are more of business people, then LinkedIn could be your platform. It all depends on who is your target audience and whom do you want to connect. And based upon that, you can choose one or multiple platforms, whichever you like. And just to have a brief, these are the popular, you would say, predominantly available platforms which are there. Is your Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, and Google Plus, which has gone, but you could actually include Snapchat also, which actually has been up and down in between. But these are the various platforms which are there, each having a different way of connecting with people and different, I would say, demographics. So if you talk about Facebook, which is leading the chart with having which has more than 1.4 billion, 140 crore registered users, you could say, in Facebook. Twitter has more of 60 crore users, and then all the rest you can see the number on top. Now, what is interesting is Facebook is more of a personal social media network, I would say. The majority of the people who actually want to connect with their friends, their family, or talk about their cause or anything as such, predominantly are present on Facebook, and they actually spend a lot of time there, sharing their content, sharing their life movement, or sharing videos, all the things. Predominantly, the Facebook is more of, you could say, the personal networking platform, as well as showcasing or like connecting people for a specific cause or product or brand and all. And it's best suitable for building the brand loyalty, having your fan followers and all. And second is Twitter. Twitter, you could say in simple terms, is something like SMS broadcast, where you have a limit of few characters, and then in those limited characters you have to put whatever message you want to do, and very popular platform for news or announcements or broadcasting. And good part is you can have your followers who can get instant update about whatever you're doing in, and highly popular medium of you could say news or updates. Pinterest is more, which is the third one in red color, is the platform where it is focused on having specific interests. So when I say, like, it could be gardening, it could be clothing, it could be interior designing, food, or whatever it might be. You have a specific interest, and based upon that interest, you get a lot of content curated for that particular interest in a single place. And if you see, predominantly it is dominated by females, the platform, and it's an image only platform. So when I say image only, is like predominantly is dominated by the visuals, the pictures and all, which is collated together as per the interest groups. YouTube, all of us have been using. I'll not speak much about that, but what is important is YouTube is a platform whenever you have something to showcase through videos. This is the platform the most popular after Facebook, or I would say like more are same to same in terms of consumption of content. Today, YouTube might be ahead of Facebook due to the reach and the internet availability, and any of the businesses which actually focuses more on having demonstration of their product or want to communicate through video. This is the platform. LinkedIn, in stricter sense, is more for the professional networking, where if you have business to business networking and want to connect, then this is the platform. Instagram, again, is image only platform. Instagram is integrated with Facebook now, so more or less both the companies are same. Facebook has different all the different activities which you can do, but Instagram focuses again on image only. So all the images you can have something similar, you could say Pinterest, but more focused with image rich content. Google Plus, even though in the social media platform has not been that what do you call predominant in these days, but still for hangouts and meetings and all, you can use that. And Google profile is something which is synonymous today with any of the Android user or people, majority of the people who actually are there. So there is a Google profile available. So these are the various options available, and then definitely there are hundreds of different platforms which are there based upon your specific interest. And on those specific interests, like for example, you have Reddit, you have so many other platforms which are actually focused on a specific activity, and you could explore them also. But what is important as a business or as an organization is, where are my audience? So based upon this content and the audience which are there, you could select one or multiple platforms, and structurally you can start promoting your cause, your business, or your activities, whatever you have. So one thing which we have to understand is when you talk about business, it is different from personal profile. So even though you might be having a Facebook personal profile where you're connecting with your known people, friends and family, and your fans, when it comes to Facebook for business, you're actually trying to create a brand loyalty or an identity of your organization in front of people who are unknown to you. So that requires some sort of a formal communication and a good presentation, which actually can attract more and more people to follow you. So just to have a brief, starting from Facebook, this is the profile of Mark Zuckerberg, but most of us, or I would say everyone, might be having their own Facebook profile. Whether they use it or not is a different story. But Facebook profile is something, as I told, is more to do with our personal social networking. But if you have a business or if you are focusing on promoting your business, I would strongly recommend not to use your personal profile if you're using for your professional or business purpose. You can create your Facebook page, which is very easy to create. It's from your profile itself. You can create a page and you can start promoting whatever you want to do on page. What is the major difference between these two is in Facebook profile, there is a concept of making friendship, and you have a limitation also with number of friends which actually you can go for. So I think it was 5,000 friends is what you can have. And second, every person who actually has to send a friend request to you and you accept it, then only the private content they can see. And Facebook page does not have any limitation. Once you post, anybody in the public domain can directly access it, and they can follow your page even without you trying to accept their request and all. So for businesses, if you can create multiple pages, each page can be promoted separately and can be managed by you. So one first strong recommendation is, if you are using a Facebook page to promote your business, Facebook profile to promote your business, as many people like create a Facebook profile by the name of their company or by the name of their shop or their business and all, and start interacting, then you could actually migrate that to a Facebook page. Second is LinkedIn. Especially we are in business, and a strong professional LinkedIn profile is something which is very, very important for us to create our digital presence. This LinkedIn you could see as your digital biodata of whatever you do in a structured way, you can showcase there. And second thing about LinkedIn is, this is a platform where actually we build business network, or we build business relationship with the people whom we know. And they say this is the most prominent business networking platform, and you could say the trusted network. So if you nurture your activities around building the network here, in few months, I'm sure you'll have a very good connection built. And there is a simple concept called 3 degrees of networking, where if today, in simple terms, suppose today if you see I have 500 connections, so these 500 people are actually more than 500 connections, who are there across the world in different places. So I'm connected to somebody, and suppose suppose if I have to connect to somebody whom I don't know, then out of these 500, 600 people, there might be somebody who might be knowing somebody who might be knowing this person whom I want to meet. So in simple terms, suppose like I know, I was not knowing Pooja earlier, but somehow we got connected now. So Pooja and Funny, we become the friends now. Then automatically the network of Pooja and Funny I can access through the recommendation of Pooja and Funny. So if I go to Pooja connects network and next level, then you can reach anywhere. And this is a proven fact. So friends, build a good LinkedIn profile, have your proper biodata already there in that, have a picture mandatorily, and some headline, and there are various videos available to how to create a good LinkedIn profile. So if you don't have, this is one thing which actually all of us must and should have it. These were all the other platforms. I'm not going deep because I've spoken, but whichever is of your interest, you could just do it and connect. Other platforms where actually we should be having our focus is various platforms like social, what do you call, online listing like Just Dial, IndiaMart, Sulekha, Google My Business. So Google My Business is something which has become very important now because it integrates with all the Google technologies, including Google Maps, Google Search and all. So suppose, for example, if you have put your mobile number, or sorry, your business number, your office hours and details, people can actually find out the direction automatically to your place. or they can search your open hours or close hours, and actually they can connect you and they can send a message. So this is basically a small screenshot of Google My Business, and everything they've integrated together now, which was earlier, and it's available as an app, so you can update the complete information about your business, and then you can have some analytics also on who visited your page, or people can comment on your platform and all these things. So Google My Business and all the different online platforms is what we can actually do. Pooja, do we need to take some questions before I jump on to the next section, which is selling online?
You're on mute.
Yes. I think some questions are there.
Yeah, so there is one question, which is what may be the key decision moments in life, anybody that can write their success stories?
I think we should answer that.
What may be the key decision moments in life of anybody that they can write their success stories? I mean, which platform they can use that?
Okay. See, it all depends, as I told, depends on which is the platform where your audience are. Suppose your audience are like youngsters, or your audience are, you could say, who would be more elderly people and all. If they are youngsters, then the platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat and all would be. If the content is more to do with your business achievement, it could be LinkedIn, or you could have your personal blog post and all, where actually you can put in forward. And today, it's always a great idea to actually have a video created and which can be uploaded on YouTube, so that people can watch instantly, and it can convey a lot, because people don't have that much time now to actually go and read something. So they just want to listen while they're doing anything else.
Right. So there is a lot of questions about Google My Business. I would like to add one point here. I'll just give you a small example. Recently, just during this lockdown, what happened is a friend of mine wanted to buy a Apple phone charger. And I called up the local, there are 8 shops in Pune for Apple. And I called them and I checked with them that is your shop open? So because their listing was there on Google My Business, I just typed on Google, and then immediately I got their phone number there. I didn't have to open Just Dial. I didn't have to open any of the other apps or anything in that listing also. So immediately I could contact them. So that is why you have to understand, whatever is your business, your existing business has to go on the online platform. मतलब इसका मतलब ये है, आपकी साड़ी की दुकान है, तो आपका काम है कि साड़ी की दुकान भी ऑनलाइन की पूरी आपकी जो दुनिया है उसके अंदर पे भी आपका जो वेबसाइट है is your दुकान, वो आपकी प्रॉपर्टी है. These are called as digital properties that we say, right, sir?
Yes. So like see, the important part is you need to have a presence everywhere. Like आपका जो भी information available है, and sooner or later people will actually start consuming that, or start getting information from that. And that's a great example, Pooja, where like you wanted to buy a charger and you had 8 stores. Whoever was present there, they got at least a lead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So any other discussion?
Yeah.
On this?
So the people are asking about like my business is in government sector and the big industries like Reliance and SR. Which platform can I use to attract them?
Which platform to use to attract them? The first one definitely will be a good website, and then you can use some email marketing platforms to actually communicate with them, connect with them. See, the important part is I think like this I'll cover as I move forward. It will be clear. Anything
we'll move ahead.
Nothing. Sure. Okay. So let's continue.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So we spoke about Google My Business, and friends, so there are various platforms where actually I can promote my business through social media. The second question, which becomes very predominant now, is about the lockdown and this corona and all. So most of the businesses are affected. You are restricted on having the regular business activity. So this has become predominantly important now to have actually to reach the customers who are not actually all coming to our physical store, but where we can actually go to the customer wherever they are. So let's go to a little background about like how the business has been done. If you talk about some 20 years back, 20 years back. So it was a traditional brick and mortar store, or you could say traditional mom and pop store where you open at 10 o'clock or whatever time in the morning, then customers come to you They buy whatever they want, and we bill, and customer takes it, or we deliver to their home. But predominantly the business was happening in the store, inside the shop, and there was a fixed time of business where actually the business could happen. So this is what has been running for generations, thousands of years. This is how the business has been done. Then the second, then what happened is, today if you talk, fast forward today, the customer is not same. Today if you talk about the customer is actually bombarded with a lot of information. Customer is actually getting approached through various platforms. It could be e-commerce site, it could be online marketplaces like say Amazon, Flipkart, Paytm Mall, and so many others, or it could be the social networks which are actually influencing the behavior of a customer on what to buy, what not to buy. There are word of mouth, or you could say reviews and ratings and all, which people are giving about the product. The information which is bombarded on WhatsApp now, especially if we talk about in the COVID era, sanitizers and masks and so many things, you will be confused which one is the right one, because so much information is available. So different platforms, different places are there where customer gets the information. Today, if you talk about somebody wanting to buy a TV, few years back, people used to go to a showroom and check out which are all the models available. The person used to bring a catalog, because we have these 3 models available and rest of the things are there in the catalog. Please select and you order it and we'll get it for you. Then those eras, those time are gone. Today, customer, even before visiting the shop, has all the information of various products what he wants to buy. He can real time compare the things available from different sources. He is able to read the reviews and all, and with a lot of information he goes to the shop wherever he wants to buy, or maybe he buys online also. So from this type of business, with the customer having this information, we had something called as multi-channel business, which actually started, which is like people buy from store also, people buy online also, people buy through their mobile phone, people buy through social media. Some of the many of the products are now sold through social media, where if you're in Facebook and you can buy something directly from Facebook pages also. You're in YouTube, or you're wherever you are, there are a lot of products which are actually being bought and sold from these platforms. And definitely the telephone and good old way of telephone, email, ordering and all these things have been there. So business was used to do from traditional single store method to multi-channel mode, where from all these different platforms people were able to buy it. And then the new era started, which was where actually like business, even if it is closed, but from different sources, business could happen. In this multi-channel, what is important to understand is every channel is independent. I mean, like they are not talking from the business perspective. There are different departments of the same business. And from all the platforms, people used to do business. So this is from online, this is from store, this is from mobile and all. Now, if you talk about the whole experience is called as omni-channel experience. So when I say omni-channel experience, is there is no concept of a store or web or mobile or something. Everything is integrated today. Now, suppose if you're planning to buy something from a store, you could get the same product through web also, or you could web. When I say web, is like through your browser or computer, or you could continue through your mobile phone. You can go and pick up that product from any of the fulfillment centers, or somebody can deliver you. So in principle, what happens is today, if you go to go on your mobile phone and start searching a product on Amazon, and you go in your home and you open your browser and on Amazon, those same products will be available there. Or if you want to do some telephonic order, that also is integrated. Now, like every channel today, if you order on phone, online, on a Swiggy, and then you call them, all the information is available at every place. So omni-channel is a method where every channel will be integrated together, and no matter from which channel the business comes seamlessly, it will be fulfilled. And this is what is going to be future. It is not only for the big businesses, my friends. Why I'm talking about this more is, this is going to be reality for every business which will exist on this country in next decade. When I say in next 10 years, every business will be integrated on the omni-channel model, whether it is a kirana shop, or whether it is a small pani puri wala, or it could be a vegetable vendor, or anybody as such. They all will be connected with one way or another. What is required is, because internet is already shaped, platforms are getting built. It was more of, traditionally, it was more of English dominated online platforms which were there. And now if you talk about more and more vernacular, or you could say regional language applications are coming in. So no matter whoever is, somebody is talking Tamil, he only understands Tamil, he will be able to seamlessly do the business in Tamil. And somebody is in Marathi, so it all will get convergent, what we say, get connected with each other. So omni-channel is the future, and this is what we will be seeing in every business, and it's very easy, my friends. Talk about that. But before that, let me just try to decipher the things which we spoke about. This is about like how the business is going to work. But if many of you are into traditional business at this moment, or you have still a doubt about whether I should go online and start selling in, let me just show you a small video here. Then we'll continue. This is a person called Jitu or Jitendra.
मेरा नाम जितेंद्र रावल है फ्रॉम ड्रैगन डील्स। मैं स्कूल के साथ कॉलेज के साथ मैंने एज अ साइबर कैफ़े में एज अ मैनेजर जॉब किया। वहाँ से मैंने इंटरनेट के बारे में सीखा, कंप्यूटर्स के बारे में सीखा, तो उधर से एक इंटरेस्ट जग गया इंटरनेट के प्रति। फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम्स की वजह से, फैमिली प्रॉब्लम्स की वजह से मुझे जल्दी जॉब ज्वाइन करनी पड़ी, तो ऐसे टाइम में फैमिली चलाना मुश्किल हो गया था। तो मैंने पैसा इकट्ठा किया, उससे फिर अहमदाबाद आया। यहाँ पे मैंने मेरा खुद का शर्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बिजनेस चालू किया। स्टार्टिंग में बहुत अच्छा था, क्लाइंट्स अच्छे मिल रहे थे, सेल अच्छी हो रही थी, प्रोडक्शन बहुत अच्छा था। धीरे धीरे पता चला ये तो क्रेडिट वाला बिजनेस है, लोगों के पेमेंट नहीं आ रहे थे और कम्प्लीटली मैं फिनिश हो गया था, एकदम फिनिश। तो ऐसे टाइम में पेपर्स वगैरह में पढ़ा कि ई कॉमर्स बूम कर रहा है इंडिया में, उसका अच्छा फ्यूचर है। पेपर में अमेज़न का वो देखा भी कि ऐसे सेलर ऑनबोर्ड हो रहे हैं, बन रहे हैं, मैन्युफैक्चरर्स डायरेक्ट ऑनलाइन सेल कर रहे हैं। तो मैं सोचा मैं भी करता हूँ, तो रजिस्टर किया। तो मैंने सोचा चलो कुछ ऐसी चीज़ लेते हैं जिसमें ज़्यादा मुझे मेहनत ना पड़े और अच्छे से बिक जाए। तो मैंने देखा वुमेंस लेगिंग्स का अच्छा अभी ट्रेंड चल रहा है, तो मार्केट गया, मैन्युफैक्चरर्स से मिला, लेगिंग्स वालों से। उनसे बोला भैया मुझे आप लेगिंग्स दो, मुझे ऑनलाइन बेचूंगा मैं आपका। तो मैं डेली जो ऑर्डर्स आते 10 पीस वापस रोज बाइक पे आता, रोज माल लेके जाता, वापस पैक करता, बेचता। घर से पूरा एक रूम से पूरा ये बिजनेस चल रहा था। अमेजोन में मुझे सपोर्ट अच्छा मिला, अकाउंट मैनेजर्स ने अच्छी हेल्प की, उन्होंने मुझे लिस्टिंग्स एनाउंसमेंट वगैरह सब बताया कि कैसे आप अपना बिजनेस बढ़ा सकते हो। मैंने देखा ये बाजार से सोर्स कर रहा हूँ, मुझे महंगा पड़ रहा है, कॉस्टिंग बहुत ज़्यादा हो रही है। तो मैंने सोचा क्यों ना अपना मैन्युफैक्चरिंग लगाया जाए। तो जो मेरा जो सोर्सिंग पार्टनर था, जहाँ से मैं सोर्स करता था, उसके साथ ही मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में पार्टनरशिप कर ली और अब मेरी कॉस्टिंग कम हो गई। कॉस्टिंग कम होने से मैं प्रोडक्ट सस्ते में बेच पा रहा हूँ ऑनलाइन और उससे सेल बढ़ गई। फिर देखा कि अब इतना अच्छा सेल है वुमेन्स लेगिंग्स में, तो दूसरी कैटेगरीज में भी जाना चाहिए मुझे, ताकि मैं बिजनेस ग्रो कर सकूँ। बहुत सी कैटेगरीज है जो मुझे यहाँ इजीली अवेलेबल हो सकती है। तो मैंने सोचा क्यों ना किया जाए, क्यों ना इसका फ़ायदा लिया जाए। हम इसी जगह पे बैठे हैं अहमदाबाद में, तो इसका फ़ायदा लेना चाहिए। लोग ऐसे भी कांटेक्ट में आए जो ये कहने लगे कि हमको भी ऑनलाइन बिजनेस करना है। विद इन 1 ईयर जो अमेजन का मेरा जर्नी है, उसके अंदर मैंने मिनिमम 6 सेलर्स को मैंने खुद ने सिखाया, उनको ऑनबोर्ड करवाया और आज वो बहुत सक्सेसफुल सेलर है। मेरा ये जो जर्नी था अमेजोन के साथ, आश्चर्यजनक बोलिए, रोमांचकारी बोलिए, कुछ भी बोलिए, मतलब इतना मैं खुश था, मेरी लाइफ बदल दी। जीतू फ्रॉम जीरो टू हीरो हो गया।
So Jitu from zero to hero, I mean, like as he shares his experience, like he was almost finished with the credit, selling multiple products and all, and started very small with only women's legging, 10 legging, जो कि बाइक पे लाके बेचना शुरू किया उसने, and he has built his own empire. I mean, like so online selling में होता क्या है कि you're not restricted to your shop, your mohalla, your city, or your locality, or the mall where you are. I mean, like the whole India is available to you, whole world is available to you as your customers. And let me just try to connect the dots with I told at the beginning. Is like every person's profile is created, every person's preferences are created. So all these companies, like you could talk about any of these social media companies, or you talk about all these online selling companies, they know who will be interested in your product. So what you have to do is just list your product there, have a good pricing, give a good service. They will find out the right customer for you, and actually like help you in selling to those customers. Today you might be selling something which is very popular in Pune, but sitting in Pune you can start selling in Kerala, or you can start selling in West Bengal. So you don't have to worry about where my customer is, because these companies will take care to find out the right customer who might be interested in your product, and they will display your product there. on their screens so that they can buy it. Is it difficult to get onboarded in Amazon or Flipkart or all these different platforms? There are many. I'm just listing quite a few here. Whichever type of business you are into, at least you could start with some products online and start selling in. The process is very simple today. I mean, like whether you're a housewife, whether you have a specialty product which you manufacture or you want to source, you can actually sell any of these products online. And the simple process is just as you create your profile for any of the social media site or anything as such, a business profile or business account has to be created called a seller account in Amazon, Flipkart, and any of the platform. Create your account, upload your GST documents, PAN card, and everything. Upload the photographs of your inventory, whatever you want to sell. Put the pricing, give a good description, and once you start getting the order, fulfill that, and you will automatically receive the payment. So there is no concept of credit, there is no concept of delivery and all. Everything can be managed by Amazon, and there are different plans available. So if you go to their site, you can read, and whichever is suitable to you, you can actually start doing it. But it's very easy. I mean, like once you start it, it's very simple, very easy to do it. What is required is you need to have the right products, right pricing, and a good service. And you can actually, starting from having one or two products, you can scale up your business. I have a couple of my friends who are into electronics and different businesses who started very small with a few products, and today they are doing a business worth crores in no time, because the right product they could understand. So this is all something like learning the art of selling online. It will not happen day one, but once you start putting your time, understanding how the whole process works, within few months you will be able to master the art and start selling it. If you don't want to sell online, then there are different platforms available where you can create your own online e-commerce site. Gone are the days where you actually have to spend lakhs together to create your online e-commerce site with the platforms like Zoho Commerce, Shopify, GoDaddy, and Shopnix, and many more. You can actually create your online store in no time. I mean, like with 2,000, 3,000 rupees subscription a month, your whole platform can be created, which can be your own website where you can start selling in. So it comes with payment gateway integrated, all the functionalities inbuilt like Wix, and so many other platforms are there. And you can start creating your own online platform and selling it. Next thing is many of us are using WhatsApp, but WhatsApp can be very beautifully used for business also. So there is something called as WhatsApp for business. Many of you might be using it. If you're not using it, you can separate your personal profile from business profile. And good thing is you can install WhatsApp for personal use and business use in the same phone. So you can actually have two WhatsApp, and WhatsApp for business even supports landline number. So you can register your landline number in WhatsApp for business, and there are much more functionalities in WhatsApp for business which actually you can use. Like you can create your own catalog in this platform. You can have open and closing time. You can have an auto responder created so that somebody sends a message, you can automatically send a greeting and reply to them. You can tag the customer, and many more features are there. So check out a video on YouTube or something and you'll understand what it is. So WhatsApp for business is something which actually we can use. And with the Jio and WhatsApp deal, especially in India, you will see more and more action happening on WhatsApp for business, for the business purpose. You already have, this is the WhatsApp catalog. You have JioMart already started selling on WhatsApp, and many more will come. So you can explore this platform. I spoke about Shopify. Shopify is the screen like this. Suppose if you are a designer or boutique, you can create your own online store through this platform and start using it. It all takes a couple of days, my friends. It's not like you have to hire somebody and spend a lot of money and wait for months to start this platform. So when you think of today, you have the images available. Within a couple of days, you can start online selling with these platforms. If you have more of designer clothes or something like that, and if you see more of your audience are on the social media platform itself, especially the women's wear, like majority of the ladies actually spend a lot of time on Facebook, then you can create your own Facebook page, or there is something called as Facebook Marketplace, where you can directly upload your products and start selling in from this platform. So this is, excuse me, example of Facebook Marketplace, which you can use. Like this, there are various marketplaces based upon the type of business you are into. Excuse me. Suppose if you are into travel, tours and travels, then Make My Trip, GoIbibo, and maybe like Ola, Uber if you are having more of taxis or cars and all. Or if you are into hotel, then Swiggy, Zomato, Uber Eats. this could be the platform for you to sell your products. So based upon whichever type of business you are into, you can join any of those marketplaces and start selling online. Swiggy is a classic example. I mean, like if you see 3 years back, there was nothing called as food delivery. It was dominated by few delivery specialist companies like Domino's and all. Today people not having a even a good restaurant, just a good hygienic kitchen, are able to sell some material worth lakhs with few items. Like somebody is just selling milkshakes and products which are related to dairy. Still, they are making a lot of business out of that. So the customer reach gets increased by all these platforms. So this is the different platforms. My friends, the future is about hyper local. When I say hyper local is a new concept where there won't be anything called as online, which was happening in the earlier days where you order today and you'll get delivered tomorrow or after 7 days and all. Now people are expecting delivery within hours, 45 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours. And this is going to become predominantly common in the days to come. It has already started in the grocery, excuse me.
I would like to add, Dilip sir, one
Yes.
point here. Just during this lockdown, our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, has actually mentioned that we have to go local, we have to go global by our products. So basically, here in this situation, what has happened is all the people in the local area are able to supply their products, whether it is your food products, means vegetables, fruits, and all that, or whether it is even electronics and a lot of other things. Like especially in Pune, I would like to give a small example. A lot of the electronic products, friends who had shops on the Tapkir Gali. A lot of people from Pune here sitting will be knowing about Tapkir Gali. These people have actually sold out their products, sitting there in their homes wherever they are. They are delivering to the relative customer. Like supposing if you have a requirement of small tube light or all of these things, but then they have a package of say 500 rupees worth of material. If you buy, then we have free home delivery, but in the Pune vicinity. So basically people have utilized even this particular time to do their business. So that is what I'm saying, that these are times wherein you can become hero, just like Jatin was giving here an example. And this entire digital world can actually help you in a very, very large way.
True, very true, Pooja. So if you see more and more, this thing will happen, and on the technology side, you will have a lot of supporting technologies which will be available to us. Like if you see food delivery and all, today you need to know how to cook a good cake or good food. You don't have to worry about customers, because customers will be brought by Swiggy to you, or you need to have a good stocking of all the groceries, and you have Reliance JioMart coming in, and all the different platforms which are coming in hyperlocal model, where suppose as you rightly gave example, Pooja, you are staying in a specific vicinity, and anybody coming from that platform who is actually on that vicinity those orders will be directed to you. So either you supply to the customer, or the platform logistic team will come and pick up from you, like Swiggy and all. So you are not doing anything. I mean, like, they will only come to you, they will pick up the material, and they will deliver to customer. So this is very important for us to upgrade ourselves, at least come to a system where we are having a proper check of the inventory. We have the information of all the things which are available, and start joining all these platforms. It could be groceries, it could be medicines, it could be home essentials, and way forward, every product more or less will fit into this bracket, whichever is essential in nature, I would say. I mean, like, you may not think of selling tiles on a hyperlocal model, or some marbles or curtains and all. That may not be there. But anything which is sold, FMCGs and all, will come on hyperlocal model. So people will not wait even for a day to get material delivered. It all will be 1 hour, 2 hour. And that is where a big business opportunity lies. In your area, you can be that fulfillment center to actually supply that. Hypothetical example, with due respect to all the companies, because all this material here, whatever I'm showing in, or all the examples, what I'm giving in here, are more for the purpose of understanding the concepts. So on a hypothetical level, let us imagine that somebody wants to buy a shampoo, and he orders to, say, Amazon. Today, Amazon might be delivering from their warehouse, but in the days to come, it will actually redirect that order to the particular nearest store, and that store will fulfill that, like what we do in Swiggy and all. So the nearest store will automatically come, and material will be picked and delivered. This is hyper local, and whichever business you are into, this is going to be the future. So get connected and start selling more. So here you're not dependent on customers who are coming to your shop, but you're already available on these platforms, and these platforms will make sure to connect you to the customers. So this is about hyperlocal. Let's move forward a little bit. JioMart is already live. More than 50,000 grocers are already onboarded, and they have started distributing material to all the people. Because of this lockdown, there might be some slow, but it is going to be very fast picking up in the days to come, where they're not directly delivering any material from their warehouse, but they're connecting the local sellers to their customers. Friends, these are the different ways where actually you can actually come online and start doing business. I would like to spend some time before I conclude on what is there in the store as we move forward. So you all have heard about this word called big data or big data analytics, and in the beginning of this webinar we spoke about how the data is collected and from various sources collected, and we shared in the 60 minutes 60 seconds the amount of information being collected. It will take at least multiple lifetimes for you to actually consume that data. So whatever is getting created is actually stored somewhere, and that information is actually used to make better and better recommendations, or I would say decisions, or for various purposes in business. And it's gone the time where actually humans had all the intelligence in which they were applying to do the business. So this is a small graph. I will not go in detail, but simple terms, machine learning has been a very popular concept. And what machine learning does is, based upon all the information which is collected from various sources, it will start learning the patterns, and it will actually utilize that information in artificial intelligent way to do decisions or do recommendations or do various activities which could be useful to us. So with this machine learning, a lot of analysis is happening about every aspect of our life, and various analytics are actually used in our buying decisions and our behavior. So I'll not talk about machine learning, but what is important is, in simple terms, we as a human, we learn from experience. Suppose like when we go to school or whenever we meet somebody, and also every time we see something, we learn. Machines learn not from the experience, but from data, and from that data actually they create the experience, the things which in all probability humans were able to do it. The classic example in simple terms would be, today Google is able to predict and tell us, yeah, this is the time you will take to reach from place A to place B. There is a lot of analysis which is happening in the background, which is based upon the data which they already have in their systems, to figure out how much time probably it will take for a person to reach from place A to place B, based upon the historical data, based upon the current situation, based upon the roadblocks or whatever it might be, in real time it is able to tell. And same is the case with the social, what you call, all your online platform. Today, if you talk about, if you go to Amazon, they have more than 10 crore products, but it does not take time for you to search a product. I mean, you are able to get the product which you were looking for. That is interesting. But what is more interesting is it will be able to recommend you, and actually it will influence you to buy the products which actually you did not come to buy for. So imagine with all these 10 crore products, how the system knows. Because of all this artificial intelligence, they are able to figure out and recommend them to you. So this is the era, and more of this artificial intelligence will become part of the businesses way forward. And there are various technologies. The data or text was the thing which was already there, but as we move forward, we'll have more and more voice coming into picture. So when I say voice recognition, is the activities what we do will become more and more done by voice. I will not be surprised if you see in the days to come, you may not have a keyboard itself. I mean, like most of the things you'll be able to do through voice. Today, Alexa can speak very fluent Hindi, Like, you don't have to speak to them in English. So like anybody can speak in their regional language and still they can get the information. And I have a small video to show you.
You already know how Alexa helps you at home. Alexa keeps you up to date on current events.
Alexa, what's my flash briefing?
Here's your flash briefing from the Business Review, management tip of the day.
And on top of your schedule.
Alexa, remind me to pick up the kids at 5 p.m. today.
But what if Alexa could help you work more efficiently and be more productive? Introducing Alexa for Business. Now, Alexa can be your intelligent assistant wherever you go. Alexa can help you work from the comfort of your home.
Alexa, when's my first meeting today?
Your first meeting is one-on-one with Morgan at 8 a.m.
Alexa, join the meeting.
Okay.
Hi, it's Angela.
And help you in the office. Alexa can schedule a meeting.
Alexa, schedule a meeting on Thursday with the sales team at 2 p.m.
That's sales meeting on Thursday, October 26th at 2 p.m., right?
Yes.
Okay, I've added that.
And even book a conference room.
Alexa, ask the office who booked this room.
This room is booked by Allison. Room 114 next door is available. Should I book it?
Yes.
Alexa saves time and hassle by starting meetings effortlessly.
Alexa, start the meeting.
Would you like to join the sales meeting?
Yes.
So you can shine during that important presentation.
Alexa, pull up last quarter sales report.
Okay.
Perfect.
Alexa helps you stay organized so you can focus on what matters.
Time to pick up the kids.
All of this is made possible with Alexa for Business, which gives you the tools to provision and manage thousands of Echo devices around your office and enable your employees to use Alexa anywhere they work. With Alexa for Business, it's easy to create contextual voice experiences for your employees and for your customers.
Alexa, where's Tyler's desk?
In section B3.
The more you look, the more you see. Now, Alexa can be used in an infinite number of ways, like helping your employees solve that pesky printer problem.
Alexa, ask the office for more printer paper.
Okay, I've ordered more paper. Should I send your job to printer 3?
Yes, that'd be great.
The only unanswered question is, what will your business do with Alexa?
With Alexa is something which you will see. So more and more voice-related activities will happen. I mean, like it's as simple as this technology will be predominant in business in the days to come. We have been all knowing about images being captured, and especially in this era of COVID and all. We have seen the China, the way they are actually having the surveillance on people and all. But in the business sense also, if we talk about the images, whatever we have, will actually be used more predominantly for businesses also. And I'll just show a classic example of how the image recognition will be used in businesses. So if you see here, the personal profile can be now, because the systems have they can actually identify you as a person. All the data is available. So imagine you walk into a store and the whole information is available to the computers. Like, okay, this is the person, this is what he might be liking and all, and they can guide you on that. And there is a small video which actually I would like to, I would have shown you, where actually you can see that based upon the person's profile, actually the recommendation can happen to that person. So this is about voice and video recognition. The third one would be like more and more robots will come for doing all the repetitive tasks, because these robots are not the old robots which were doing only the assembly line activities. These are the intelligent robots which who can actually speak, who can actually do the things what humans do. And today in this COVID era, you have seen some of the robots are actually there in front of or outside the office, and they are guiding the people. They are giving the sanitizer to them and actually taking the information, checking their temperature and all. So virtually in every type of activities, you will have these robots coming in and doing the activities which are repetitive or which are more or less common in nature. Virtual reality or augmented reality is one more new aspect which will be predominantly there in businesses, especially if you are into interior designing or any of the businesses where there is nothing to show, but you want to create that experience. Then augmented reality is the thing. And today, if you talk about many of the builders and all, they're already using it. A small example is here from IKEA, who actually
Have you ever tried to redecorate rooms with your eyes as you stroll through IKEA? Now you really can. Customers are invited to a playful interior lab. Here they can be inspired and visualize their very own personal solutions. At its heart lies an application that really brings IKEA to life: the virtual home experience. An interactive showroom that uses the immersive power of virtual reality for a whole new approach to product exploration, revolutionizing how customers engage in interior decoration. Through simple interactions, visitors can configure furniture items and room features. Photorealistic 3D.
Having a product available, people will be able to experience that product and they will be able to buy it. So all these technologies, what I spoke about, the audio, the voice, the images, the video, the big data, the customer profiling, everything put together, that is not the day, because this is the reality today. If we talk about offline business, the way we have been doing the offline business, where actually you have a traditional brick and mortar store which actually opens at a specific time and closes, may also come in new avatar. And this is one classic example before I conclude our session. So there was a physical business. We spoke about all the different platforms through which actually you can come online and promote your business, promote your profile. Then we spoke about selling online, and this would be the new feature, online completely people-less.
4 years ago, we started to wonder, what would shopping look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go? What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store so you never have to wait in line? No lines, no checkouts, no registers. Welcome to Amazon Go. Use the Amazon Go app to enter. Then put away your phone and start shopping. It's really that simple. Take whatever you like. Anything you pick up is automatically added to your virtual cart. If you change your mind about that cupcake, just put it back. Our technology will update your virtual cart automatically. So, how does it work? We used computer vision, deep learning algorithms, and sensor fusion, much like you'd find in self-driving cars. We call it Just Walk Out technology. Once you've got everything you want, you can just go. When you leave, our Just Walk Out technology adds up your virtual cart and charges your Amazon account. Your receipt is sent straight to the app, and you can keep going. Amazon Go. No lines, no checkout. No, seriously.
You will have more and more stores coming in everywhere, where actually this type of businesses you will see where like the technology is taking over and complete business is happening. So before I conclude, my friends, we spoke about so many things and different aspects of promoting our business. But one thing which remains important for all of us is whether we like online, whether we like social media, digital media, or different technologies, platforms and all, because this is something which is your personal choice. But what is one thing which we cannot ignore is our online presence. It takes many good deeds to build your reputation, but only one bad one to destroy it. I mean, like you would have been doing phenomenally good all across. Today, but suppose one thing happens wrong. Today, people don't go and fight with you in a consumer court. The first thing what the customer or people, if they are not happy with your service or your product and all, is they will talk. They will be vocal and speak in the social media or different platform and talk about you. It becomes very important for all of us to make sure that we have more and more positive ratings available. We actually recommend or encourage our customers to actually rate us, subscribers, like us, and all. If you see all the people doing it's all because of to build a positive reputation, because people actually trust the reviews more than anything else today. I mean, like the most effective way of building your brand loyalty is not a fancy or let's say a big budgeted TV advertisement or a lot of marketing content and all. The real important point is how good you are rated on all these platforms. It could be the online ratings which people give you in terms of stars, or it could be the comments and feedbacks what people give you on different platforms. It could be Just Style, it could be Google, it could be Amazon, or wherever you go, is matters most, because 54% online buyers read online reviews before buying. Suppose if you go to Amazon, people even before reading about the product, first what they see is what is the star rating of that product, and that is what will define their buying pattern, whether they will buy it or not. And 39% of in-store buyers also. So suppose if you have somebody who is coming to your store to buy something who is not unknown to you, it is more likely that he will actually check about your business and your rating before even entering your store. So this becomes very important for us to have the online rating and review done, and it is not very different for only the big businesses today. If we talk about even Uber wala, Ola wala, or Swiggy delivery guy, or anybody as such, they also ask you, sir, please rate me appropriately. Please, if you liked my service, please give 5-star, 4-star and all. So this becomes very important for us, whichever business we are into and whichever platform we are into. Make sure that our online reputation is built. If anything is not right in place, try to correct that and have a good presence available so that people can get the information about whatever they're looking for. So physical is the new normal. When I say physical, is your physical business, which is going to stay in the old style. And as I told, in the days to come or years to come in India, you will have the new way of physical business where even the products are physical, but the way of consuming that product may not be physical. And digital technologies will have a predominant role to be played in terms of doing the buying decision for the customer, and for the selling or vendors, or I would say the sellers, it will play an important role in finding out the customers. Before I conclude, a very nice quote from Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft Corporation. He said, like, whatever business, wherever we are into at this moment, longevity in this business is about being able to reinvent yourself. Is something what is happening around us. Based upon that, we will have to change ourselves, our way of doing the business, our way of marketing ourselves, our way of interacting with the customers, or invent the future itself altogether. So, do a breakthrough in the way the business is happening. A classic example are many, but if you say the way the taxi booking was happening was completely changed the moment Olas and Ubers came into picture, or the hotel booking, or all these startups which have actually come and they have actually disrupted the way the business was happening. So you have only two choices: either get upgraded and get updated with the new norms of business, or spend your time in actually inventing the future which is lying ahead. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure being with all of you. And over to you, Pooja, Funny. Would be happy to take any questions. My coordinates are there here. gmail@dilipjain.in. Please feel free to contact me or share any of your feedbacks you may have. You can connect me through WhatsApp also, 9742343434. It's been a great pleasure being with all of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I just want to
sir,
add here
if you could, add
thing.
one point, which is about Google Analytics, where you spoke about the big data. If you could add that, because let people know that what the big market share that they can eat, what they are missing out. If you can just add a little bit
Google
about that.
Analytics. Sorry, could you just come back to the question?
Google Analytics.
Okay, it was big data analytics.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I say big data analytics, it's something like whatever the information is getting collected about us and whatever we do is actually stored somewhere. So in the cloud, you could say. So suppose whatever the photographs or our buying patterns, our visit history, and all what we spoke in the beginning. So all this information is actually stored somewhere, and it is structured and unstructured. So if you talk about earlier days, you may have a CRM system where you may put the details of a customer, like, okay, this is the customer, this is his email address, phone number, and this is what he bought earlier. So there is some transaction system which is available in which what you store. Today, unstructured data, which does not have any meaning also, is also captured and stored. For example, it could be something like how much time did you spend on your phone, or which are all the places you visited in last 12 months, or what is your lifestyle, or which are the types of hotels you go, which are the food you eat. So all this information is actually there stored with your profile in all these internet companies. I'm not telling you like this company is doing that or that company is doing that. But in principle, once that information is stored, that is actually intershared between the companies. For example, when you especially Pooja, Funny and all, you have your own YouTube channel. And your YouTube channel, you have a content which could be with a specific topic. But the user who is coming to your YouTube channel, and when he is to watch something, they will see a small advertisement which will be related to them, not to you.
Right.
So suppose I like more of a sports, then when I come to Funny's channel or your channel, but still based upon my preferences, I will see advertisement which might be related to me. So this is the example. YouTube, you could say it's a Google, but imagine you go to Facebook or you go to Amazon or you go to any other website, or your children playing a game on their mobile phone, you will see some advertisement flashing on their mobile phone in the game, which will be related to you. So there is no Google platform there. So the information actually gets, information travels across all these platforms and the recommendations happen. So more and more it will get leveraged in the physical world also, the same information. So a personal profile which you have created, and based upon that what might be relevant to you will be pushed to you. So people who play more of the cards, they will see more of that Teen Patti and Rummy game coming to as the advertisement when there's a mobile phone. But if a woman are watching any YouTube and all, they may see something which is to do with cooking or whatever their interest might be. So the analytics are happening in the back end. What is important is we don't have to worry about what is happening there. But we can actually promote our products through these platforms. So suppose like, okay, you are in Pune and today you decide, okay, I want to promote my company product or my particular website or any particular cause through Google. Then you can use the services of Google AdWords, or you can use the Facebook ads, or you can use any of the platform where actually you can also promote your business or your products. Right. And that will be shown to your customers. Right. So it all starts with 5 rupees, 10 rupees, 2 rupees for click based and all. You can do it because we have a very small time window, so I could not actually talk everything in detail. Yes. But I think I answered that question.
Yeah. Actually, I would just like to add one point here is that supposing you take the category, I'm an interior designer by profession. Okay. So friends, in my category, I have an account on Google Analytics. So what happens is I have till date in my career, I have done 500 customers, but by industry, specifically in my particular Pune market, there are lakhs of people who are searching that in a particular day, which data Google Analytics gives you. So which means that your Google Analytics helps you to find out your own customers, plus it helps you find out the patterns of buying those particular, how they think, how do they buy, and accordingly you can create videos or you can create blog posts based on that particular pattern. And that is what you should be doing. Means you have to read all those things, you have to understand those patterns, and based on that you have to be going ahead and doing it. Right, sir? If I'm...
Yes, and I'm just going through some of the questions, Pooja, here. There is one question.
Yes, some of the questions, yes, we can...
what is the best digital media in current times for education sector, particularly for colleges and institutes? This is a question from...
Supravat.
Supravat. There are two parts. One is like promoting your college or your education system. As I said again, it is directly related with where your audience are. Suppose if they are kids, then the platform might be different. If they are adults or business people and all, then it could be the other platform. But as in this pandemic era and all, Google My Business, whichever platform you are into, whichever business or profession you are into, you have to be present on Google Business, where you showcase your product and service. You can use Microsoft technology now, which is called as Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Teams is something which has become very popular, especially for online education and all. So suppose if you have to conduct a real-time online education classes and all, Teams is something which actually you can explore. And for promoting the blogger and different other platforms out there where actually you can speak about and put forward.
So to add to your point, for my business, Dilip, so I mean the rating is one thing. The reviews in Google My Business is something that will immediately pop up when you mention anything in Google page. So I have mentioned the accelerator, and then immediately it is shown in the Google My Business. I mean in the Google page, and then that's the reason when any hotel business or anyone who has given service, they send their Google My Business link to rate them. So even Supravat can do the same thing. So whoever are the happy customers, he just need to send once he listed himself on Google My Business, they can he can send his link and then get them rated. So that his footfall of positivity will increase.
True. There's a question from Sri Hari.
Yes.
It's a very interesting question which I'm asked every time. Do you think individual business can survive alone, where big players are going to eat market share with technology and muscle power they have? We have to all understand this thing, very important. And this is a fear which is there in our mind. All these big companies are not interested in selling anything. They just want to create a platform where you can sell. When Ola or Uber came, they did not kill your business. They actually gave more opportunities to taxi drivers and taxi owners. When Make My Trip came, they gave more opportunity for the hotels and all. We were efficient. I mean, like you cannot have the monopoly available now, which you were able to enjoy. But if your service is good, your product is good, then these companies actually want to buy from them. Amazon wants you to sell your product on Amazon. They are happy with their commission. Today, you are spending money on rent, electricity, staff, and so many other things in the physical shop. Instead of that, you might be paying the commission to Amazon, and Amazon will get customer for you. So it is a very wrong notation to say that they are going to kill our business. The problem is we don't want to change. We just want to be in our old style of business where we were doing the business. The customer did not have information, and we had our own good old way of doing the business. So it's a high time for us to actually get connected with this platform and start selling on them. There is no worry, because see, any company cannot survive unless it is with the people of that particular place. So if you see JioMart, which is coming in, again, they want to connect all the sellers. Amazon, they have something called as Amazon Marketplace or the Seller Hub, where actually they want sellers to sell. But if you're not efficient, if you're not cost effective, if somebody is better than you, then you don't have a chance. But if you're efficient and your cost is good, they actually provide you a lot of customers to sell in. So we don't have to worry about like these companies are going to kill us. We need to find out the newer ways of actually promoting our business. It could require either you change your product line or you change your strategy and do selling, because your physical store is anyway there. But with all these platforms, you are able to sell globally. Today, one of my friend who is there in Bangalore is selling in US also, who was having one nutraceutical store only in Bangalore, and only people who are going to gym and all were coming to his shop. Today is supplying to all India. Yes.
Yeah. One more question from Prachi. So how should she get more organic traffic or organic followers?
Okay, how should we get organic traffic and organic followers? Very nice question, Prachi. See, be what do you call, what is the word we use? I mean, like, it should be authentic. It is your content. The best way of getting organic content is, traffic is having the content which is created by you. If you do a copy paste, and because these search bots are very intelligent, whenever somebody searches for something, and if they see this is not your original content, then automatically your page ranking goes down. There are various methods, but 2-3 I'm telling in here. The first is more and more share your original content that gets automatically promoted on the top in the searching. Second thing is promote your content, whatever you have created, through other platforms. For example, if you have created something in your blog, share that on your Facebook, share that on your YouTube, share that in other places. So more and more links you have about your content, the more and more references gets built. Third thing is the content which you have, engage your audience. Like Funny and Pooja and all, because I actually like had interaction with you. Suppose you have your YouTube channel and the more people are communicating, commenting or liking your page, the more it will get promoted automatically. So this is the organic way, and this is a short way in long term. So I use the word harvesting, or I would say farming. The social media is not about like one night you sit overnight and create a beautiful page, and next day morning you'll have some 1,000, 10,000 likes. If you go and find out likes like that, then you'll have people coming in from Tanzania, China, and everywhere who is actually liking your content, and you'll see some 1,000, 10,000 likes, and you can pay something. But if you want real followers, if you want real organic people to follow you, then be consistent, have the content created on a regular basis, promote and put something new which is original, and in the days to come and in the future, automatically more and more people will go on adding. But one thing what you can do and which actually can promote, which actually you're doing here, is like ask people to join you, ask people to subscribe you, or ask people to like you, ask people to rate you. There is nothing wrong in that. The more people like you, the more your automatically the promotion will happen for your site, your profile, or anything as such.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, do we need compulsory GST to start business on e-commerce platforms? If
e-commerce platform, yes.
To start.
In e-commerce platform, yes, but there are some exceptions with some of the categories that you have to check out in the platform. For example, food and all, I'm not sure whether e-commerce GST is mandatory. But for selling the products which are, what do you call, a majority of the
He's
products.
asking for books. Abhishek is asking this question. He's asking for books.
I'm not sure. Let me not give you wrong information, but you can find out there. But GST is not a big thing today. I mean, it will cost you some 500,000 rupees to get it registered. And you will lose if you don't have a GST because you cannot claim the input credit. So if you want to do a business, you need to have a GST registration in place. And it's not going to, it's all a myth. GST registration also is online completely. Go to GST website, upload your documents, and do the formalities, and you will get a GST registration.
Yeah.
So for service sector company, where is the personal attention for professionals such as architects or lawyers? How do we think technology for expansion of services? This is by Pramod.
Yes, Pramod. This applies to Pooja also. I think you're into interior design and all, because you cannot sell your product online. But what is something very important for the service professionals is building their brand loyalty, building their reputation. So what you need to do is actually you have to showcase your work. You have to showcase your work to people, point one. Point two, you have to put more and more testimonials on your page. Like, okay, this is how people got benefited from our service or product. For example, as you said, click, okay, a lawyer or architect and all. Today, if you talk about, if you are in Pune, and Pune, you helped a startup or some company to set up their business or do the registration and all the activities and all. So take the testimonial from them and put it in your website, put it in your social media page or wherever you want, and communicate that, because this is what builds more and more, what do you call,
loyalty, credibility.
Loyalty for the people who are coming in. Because today, even somebody is searching for, even somebody is there in Pune and he's searching for interior designer. Preference, so definitely they may get some people, but what they want to see is they want to see the work, what you have done. And they want to hear from the real users who have used their service. So instead of you speaking more about what you do, let your customers speak about you and you show whatever you have done. Instead of talking about, okay, we do this, then all. This is a short way of actually influencing the people to come to you more and more.
Yes. How do you let your customers speak? By Google My Business and then Facebook reviews? Is that what you mean, Dilip?
Those are things, but actually you can ask them, create a good photograph of the customer and you create a picture of them and post in your Facebook, post in your YouTube. Take a permission from the customer. Yes, sir, can I use your testimonial in my website? Or can I use you in my PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah.
And ask them and put their photograph. This is how this customer got benefited, and especially with the interiors and all. Take the photograph of their home with their family smiling and put forward. This is the Pooja's home which was created by us in this time and all. And the word should be theirs. That is very important. We speaking does not give much credibility compared to the real user who is actually talking about like how they benefited from the service.
Right. So what do you think about the future in designing space, means web designing and UI UX design?
As a profession?
As a profession.
They will go on changing their avatars. So you will have something better and better coming in the days to come. Today we are talking about, I didn't spend much time on the futuristic technologies. We are talking about computers which will be able to write their own codes. So even software development will be done by machines on their own. So this will go on evolving. So UI, UX as a profession will always remain. The tools will change. Suppose if you are using the Photoshop or whatever the methodology, these tools will change. So this is a lifetime journey. So don't think of this as a profession. What we have to see as a profession now is this is this something which actually I want to focus on in the way forward? And if you see UI and UX will be there as a technology, it will remain, but the tools will not be the same. There will be automatically ready-made things and all will be coming in, which will take over.
Okay.
So any more questions that are not answered, but I can see some relevant questions in the top. But about Google business and then social media.
You can use LinkedIn for business.
LinkedIn is used predominantly for business only, and it's more of a trusted network. When I say LinkedIn, generally you don't connect to people whom you don't know. So always it's a trusted network. So you have some sort of a introduction built. So even if you don't know that person, try to build what we say. You introduce yourself, try to build a connection, and then build a connection, because this is something not about you and the other person getting connected. Because in Facebook, what happens? If you are connected, then you share pictures, your wedding, your holiday and all, and people like and they share each other. In LinkedIn, it does not happen. LinkedIn, you have a connection. You will use it if you need it. Otherwise, you are not posting anything and you are not chatting with them on a daily basis, like what we do in Facebook and all. So it's a purely business network. You are knowing somebody who knows somebody, and whenever required, he can come and help you.
Okay.
Right.
So now that you are also into training industry, because you take a good number of trainings. So how is this COVID situation has transformed the training industry? I mean, how is the future like?
Okay, training will not be same again, because if you see more and more people, the information related training will definitely have a very different approach now, because anything which is related with information is available on YouTube, Google, and so many places. And because people had a lot of time to explore, so people have learned how to learn now.
Okay.
So when it comes to on the information side, people will focus more on the self-paced learning, online learning, where at their convenience they can learn. But when it comes to soft skills, when it comes to the things which are more of personal in nature, that will still remain, because that will not change, is what I guess. And once this COVID situation goes, which I don't see will be there for more than a year, things will come to normalcy. And whatever we have been doing we will be doing the same thing again. But definitely a new avatar will emerge. So what I strongly believe is nothing will stop. Nothing has stopped over the years. Only thing is the way of doing the same thing will change. People have not stopped eating food. Even in the COVID also, now again people have started ordering in Swiggy. People are buying in. People have not stopped buying vegetables or wearing clothes and all. But how they buy has changed. So we may have to change as a business to adapt to their business. So training, as I told, information related things will have a little decline, because that information will be available online. So they will prefer going on Google and searching how to type on create a PPT and all. So they will not go to a computer store and learn that now. They can do online.
Yeah.
Right. We'll have last 2 questions now. So the next question is, can you also talk a little bit about SEO? What do you think, how it will help?
Search engine optimization or SEO is more to do with like how you optimize your page or your content, so that in the searching it comes on the top. I briefly spoke about if you have original content, if you have something which is not copied, because these pages can immediately find out. Suppose if you copy something which is already there available in somewhere else and you bring in, then it will not be organic way of your ranking will go down. Second, there are some professional companies which are there which can help you to actually create specific keywords, meta tags and all, which can be part of your website and all, so that your site can come on top. So why it is important is today whenever people do anything, any search on Google and all, if you are on first page, then you will be like coming into, you will have a chance of actually landing on your page. If your searching is on the second page, then people generally don't go to second page. They will put a different search again. So what becomes important is you have the right keyword available in your page. For example, suppose if you're a hardware vendor, now simply putting hardware Pune, you will see 1,000 people coming in. But if you say computer hardware in Pune in this particular area, best hardware, special hardware, like these words and all, then if somebody types best hardware, then you might be having a possibility of coming up and all. So those keywords and all, they do a little bit of adjustment, then properly they put the right content. Really help. I'm talking a simple language.
Yeah, understood.
But the essence is search engine optimization is more to do with bringing the ranking up, and the short way is having original content.
Right. I just like to add one point here. The more, if you're talking that you want to be on the first page on Google, which means at least you have to have 1,000 posts or at least 1,000 videos on your YouTube channel, which means that much of credibility, that much of community you have to create for your own business, which is a journey in itself. And that is how organically every business grows. It takes a journey of 3 to 5 years for any business to grow. But then we've seen brands built up just by these social media platforms and just by digital marketing world.
Yeah, very true. I mean, like if you see YouTube also, there are quite a few people who have actually earning millions every year by just uploading the videos. Like people are making money by playing the game and showing that video and people watching that game being played. There are hundreds of people who actually just play the game, and that playing game is watched by so many people.
Yeah.
Right. Just playing the game also, the gaming industry has gone at least 5 times just in the lockdown period. You can go and check it on Google. You can find out the news, what is the kind of numbers that has happened just during this coronavirus. I actually thank coronavirus to come and give us such a big boost in the digital world.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah. The last question.
I think most of the questions are done. While making a website, many times it is found that images in the website developer are used by foreigners, means all the uploaded pictures. So is it the real staff or is it the Indians only? So again, Pramod has asked this question.
Okay, so it's not that. Many times what happens now, there are website templates available. And generally in the website templates, we have more of those foreign faces as the team members or office and all. So it's not a good idea to actually have those faces. I would recommend more and more have your own people's face or Indian face if you're an Indian company. But it all depends on who are your audience. Suppose if I'm selling more to my foreign club, the customers who are outside India, then I may prefer to have some Indian foreign mixed face. But if your customers are more of Desi customers, then having those faces may not have a right this thing. I am very much what do you call, like I would say was impressed by this concept. Like I come from a place called Chitradurga, which is in Karnataka, a small city, and we had a big textile showroom. And I've been telling my father and all, like, Papa, why don't we put air condition? AC showroom bana dete na, like customers also will feel good and all. And he told, like, our customers, if it is AC showroom, they will not come inside. They will think this is a costly showroom.
Okay.
Right.
So it all depends on who are your customers and how they will feel seeing you is very important for us to show whatever we want to show. It all depends on whether the customer will like or not. Or will he get influenced, will be the right word, by whatever we are showing in.
Okay, so then last question now. How do I, if I want to work as an aggregator in different services, how do I do that? So Abhishek has asked this question. So this is the last question, and then we are closing the.
Okay. So if you want to become aggregator, first you have to find out in which business you want to become aggregator. Because today, if we talk about every business, as big as businesses like travel or online shopping and all, to small businesses like Doodhwala also are becoming aggregators, and then there are 100 Doodhwalas coming together and actually selling doodh. So what exactly you want to do is becomes very important. And once you have found out, the second thing what you have to find out is this business already existing somewhere, or somebody is doing that, and where they are standing in front of you. And based upon that, you can actually start your journey. I have seen many, especially I come from this IT capital, and in Bangalore, you have tens and thousands of different startups who actually have found out opportunity in virtually everything, starting from selling milk to creating aggregation of the tempos or bike and cycle or mehendi, where like all the mehendi wala coming together. So what is important is it is not about becoming aggregator. This is a very interesting thing also in training. I tell many a times. Today the big earlier like children used to say I want to become a doctor or an engineer or something. Today if you ask students, they say I want to start a startup. Now what is the definition of startup? They don't know. They just say like ठीक है मुझे भी एक Flipkart बनाना है, मुझे भी एक Amazon बनाना है और 20 लाख करोड़ में बेचना है कि 2 लाख करोड़ में बेचना है. It does not work like that. You solve a problem, you find out a problem, this is one problem and there is no solution available. And then you actually can start the journey from that. Okay, how do I assemble people for this? Technology is just a piece. It's an important piece, but need not be. We have a classic example of a lady called Ruma Devi, who is in Rajasthan, and she actually got all these village ladies together. You have to see her video, which is there on YouTube. 25,000 village ladies who were at 50 rupees, 100 rupees, they started this, then they become a global brand now. So something which is there, which actually you can pick up and start working on that. And a good way would be to find out if anybody is existing and how you are different from them, or what is something, a niche which you are creating out of that. Then you can just build on that.
I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you think it is useful to you, please like, share and subscribe.